Me showing my butt to the whole world. I hope nobody can see my nippies.
No, I can't even see them.
You can't? Okay, that's great.
No, and I'm looking.
Hello.
What's up?
My name's Allie.
I'm Mac.
And we are starting a new little podcast-y type thing. I don't think it's actually going to be a podcast, but
We'll see.
a video recap-y thing, whatever.
We're filming a video.
We're filming a video, and it's called Under the Covers.
Under the covers.
With Mack and I. All right, I've got my little notesies here. We were both just on the first episode of a brand new TV show called
Destination X. Surely
Destination
X. Say
X.
something at that's cool. That's cool.
We were both just on this brand new TV show called Destination X, and we want to talk to you guys about the first episode. So, I'm just gonna rip it. What were your first thoughts on the plane? Like, when we took our goggles off, like, who were you sitting by? What were you thinking?
I was sitting right behind Jonah, and then I had Ty and Rick on my left, and then obviously we could see the mountains. So, like, those were all of my visual cues.
So you had Jonah, Ty, and Rick.
Jonah, Ty, Rick.
Mountains.
And some mountains.
Jonah, Ty, Rick, and some mountains.
Uh-huh.
This is my squishmallow. This is Sachi. Sorry.
No, you're great. Yeah, I had Jonah, Ty, and Rick. And I feel like we just all first started talking. Everybody was super excited. They all seemed really cool. I was really thinking, and this was kind of a common thing, I feel like, on the beginning at the bus. I was really hoping that someone would be super unlikable. Just like right off the bat, but like everybody was cool and nice. And so the first three people I met, I was like, these people are great. These people are nice. I don't have an immediate enemy. I was kind of hoping to have an immediate enemy.
That's true.
Didn't get to have that.
Yeah.
Not immediately, at least.
No, not immediately.
What about you? What were your first thoughts?
My first thoughts. I had Biggie, Rachel, and of course Josh. Everyone remembers the matching necklace with Josh moment.
I see you're still wearing the necklace.
This is a necklace that I owned before I knew Josh. So
right.
yes, the evil eye protects me always. But yeah, immediately I was like, Josh seems super cool, obviously. And then Biggie seemed nice. Rachel seemed nice. I don't even remember chatting that much, but I do remember seeing the mountains. I think I was just kind of like, wow, this is crazy that we're on this plane. This is just an insane experience. And yeah, I didn't know what to expect in general. Mm-hmm. So to just see everyone for the first time, it was just like, whoa, there's other people here, you know?
Yeah. First thing out of your mouth on the show was talking about how you're always stumbling into finding your husband. Then the first person you see is Josh. What did you think about that? Did you think you'd found your husband?
You know what? The amount of times that I have thought that I found my husband. No, but I say that as a joke. I mean, obviously, I think a lot of women, when dating, think like, okay, maybe this is the person I'm going to be with. And then pretty quickly I figure out that they're not. And I think I did say that on TV, but I mean, no, I didn't look at this guy and think like, oh my gosh, this is my husband. Did I think he was handsome? Sure. Did I think he was really, really nice? Sure. And like outside of the show, I love Josh. I think he's great. I think he is a really, really cool person. I think he has great personality. Finding out that he was on Big Brother was crazy to me because it was crazy that none of us knew that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knew that.
No, I didn't know that. I actually, as much as I loved our experience, I don't watch a lot of reality TV. So finding out Josh was on Big Brother was pretty crazy. The only person that I actually recognized was Rachel.
Yeah.
I recognized Rachel from her, like, reels. Mm-hmm. So.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, but Josh, great guy. I am sad that he was the first one to leave us.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you would have had a little showmance with him had he stayed?
Who's to say? Who's to say what would have happened? But,
well,
who's to say what would have happened?
Sure.
But I do think he's a great guy. I do think that there was like a lot of chemistry there, but I think that, you know, chemistry is not always romantic. I think you can just have chemistry with people in general.
Sure.
So.
Bestie.
Yeah, who knows? Literally, who knows? Speaking of things I didn't know, did you know Ty was divorced?
No, I didn't.
I had no idea that Ty was divorced.
No, yeah, that like never came up. Anything. I think we both found out the same way, seeing it in the like written up bio.
Yeah, in the bios. That was my first time.
NBC article or something.
That was my first time knowing that Ty was divorced. So Ty, sorry about that. That really sucks. But I can't believe I didn't know that because Ty and I I mean, I thought we were pretty close.
Yeah.
So that was pretty crazy for me to find out that way. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I thought that was interesting. I had no idea either.
Did you think there were any like immediate threats after like the first challenge or on the plane or whatever?
I immediately clocked Biggie as a threat.
Me too.
Not because he did so well on the suitcase challenge, though that kind of confirmed it. For me, it was while we were on the tarmac.
Okay.
People, we had some downtime between filming and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Most people were chatting with producers, chatting with each other, whatever. Biggie was walking around. Biggie had his eyes. Biggie was looking for clues. Biggie was sniffing for clues.
Yeah. I thought that was sketchy.
I thought it was smart.
I thought it was sketchy. I thought if I did that, I would get in trouble. So I was like, dee. I'm not going to look at anything. Except I did see some trees.
You did see some trees.
I saw these tall, skinny trees. You may be familiar. People often put them in their yards. And I thought, we're in Italy, baby. I've seen these trees in Italy. And I am aware that these trees grow in Spain and France and probably many other places, including Florida. But I knew. I was like, we're in Italy. Immediately, I was like, this is it. Colorful houses and tall, skinny trees in the distance. So maybe Biggie saw that too. Maybe that's what Biggie was looking at when he was walking around. Was the tall, skinny trees. I feel like he would like a tall, skinny thing.
I think so. I think that would be Biggie's type.
I feel like he would like a tall.
Do we know of anybody that he's like? Have we seen any pictures of anybody?
No, honestly, I think Biggie would date someone with a really good personality and probably a blonde. But that's just me pulling that out of my butt.
I don't know. I feel like two blondes
which
together,
is big and holds a lot. So I don't know.
I hate that I spoke over you while you were saying that.
Yeah, that's okay. But anyways. Tall, skinny trees and tall, skinny women. That's just a guess. Big, you could tell me if I'm wrong.
On that, I had the opposite question.
Oh.
Who do you think was the weakest link?
Oh, that's tough. I think that I'm portrayed to be one of the weakest links, but
you won the first challenge.
But we did that together, and I took the luggage tag, which I have on my list of things to talk about. But unfortunately, actually, in the beginning, I thought maybe Shane or Rachel. And I don't know why I thought that, but I think it's because I didn't hear them talk a lot of game. And when I did hear them talk, it was always kind of about something random. And this is totally just based off of episode 1.
Yeah, like first
and like
impressions.
where my head space was at that time. Yeah, I probably thought Rachel or Shane. What about you?
Shane.
Okay, why?
He hadn't really traveled much.
Okay.
Most people, I feel like, other than Biggie, but I knew Biggie was smart because I saw him sniffing for clues. Most everybody else had a decent amount of travel experience.
Yeah.
And so he didn't. And I thought that was going to be so helpful and useful. And also, Shane, great guy. Really great guy.
He is a great guy.
Super good guy.
Good guy.
Good guy.
Great guy, even.
He doesn't say smart things sometimes. I don't know how else to say it, but like I didn't get a lot out of great personality.
And you're talking about episode 1.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll get to that. But yeah.
I thought he was loud. I thought he was going to be a very social player.
Okay.
So I guess strong in that sense, but in terms of like, did I think this guy would know where he was? No.
All right. Speaking of that, though, I was going to ask you this later, and this is kind of personal, so...
Okay.
Buckle up. You're talking about saying that you thought Shane was dumb. Did you think I was dumb? I know that, and I'm asking this publicly, because we've had this conversation, and I don't even actually know if we've had this conversation completely, but the edit... I know that the first clip of you saying that you wanted to team up with the dumbest person, we hadn't met yet.
No.
But
when I said that,
when you said that. But outside of the edit, did you team up with me in the first challenge because you thought I was dumb, or was it because we had already been talking about being from Austin, which wasn't included in the clip? Mm-hmm. We had already been talking.
No, I absolutely did not team up with you because I thought you were dumb. I teamed up with you for a number of reasons. One, you were standing next to me, and I needed to be quiet.
That's a good reason.
So it was
That's a good
very,
reason.
very convenient. Also, we did already have a little bit of rapport, having both discovered that we both live in Austin, which is, I think, why you were standing next to me, because we were talking about that.
Yeah, I think we even were like, "Yo, scream, Austin!"
Yeah,
if
no,
you
we
need
did.
help.
I think you did say that. Like,
Yeah, I did say that. Yeah.
And so no part of my thinking going into that game was like, who's the dumbest person around?
I mean, that
Bingo.
was your thinking going into the game.
That was my thinking going into the show, not my thinking going into that challenge.
All right, that's fair.
Because also, just to defend myself on this one, it wouldn't make sense for me to team up with the dumbest person on that challenge, because I would need somebody to get tags in order for me to reap the benefits.
Yeah.
So I couldn't have picked you.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
You wanted me to get tags.
Yeah.
But I got... Okay, can we... Wait, really quick. This isn't even on my list, but can we talk about the freaking one that they showed me?
Oh, yeah.
We both got 2 wrong, right? Because
I got one... I only got 1 wrong, but I got less tags than you.
Okay.
Like, I put in
4 tags. I
got
had 6
3 correct.
tags.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you got 6 and 4.
Okay. One of those being Rick's. But I put in the stupid Dancing Queen Young and Sweet, thinking that was Mamma Mia, because I thought if it were supposed to be Sweden, it would say ABBA.
Yeah. No,
Dancing Queen, immediately I think of Mamma Mia.
I'm on your team.
Not ABBA.
Quite literally, I was on your team, and also I agree. That was a
Right.
confusing clue.
You were literally on my team.
So obviously I wanted you to get it right.
Yeah, I've seen actually a lot of comments about how that could have been.
I think it was a really confusing
double
tag.
answer.
Yeah, I think it was a confusing tag.
Yeah, it was a confusing
And
tag.
luckily we won. Otherwise, it probably would have had some beef about it.
Well, and we would have had some beef about it, but also shout out the sausage tag, and I don't really understand why that is being deemed such a big deal.
Wait, yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that, because on the show, everybody, and by everybody I mean the boys, are making this big deal as if you did something wrong stealing Rick's sausage.
Right, as if none of them would have picked up a tag.
Right, like I can't remember if it was...
We're in a game to win $250,000 and to be a little deceitful, even though I honestly wasn't deceitful enough. I think we were playing this freaking game to try to make it as long as we can, and you think I'm not gonna pay? What am I gonna... Excuse me, Mr. Rick, here's your sausage.
Right, because I think...
No, I was gonna keep that to myself. You think I'm gonna just... Excuse me, I picked up your sausage.
Oops!
Oopsies. And on that note... And I don't know how much... I'm not going to talk in depth about this, because my friend here is an attorney, and we are scared of getting sued by NBC.
Big time scared.
And I don't know how much about, like, the background we're allowed to talk about, but, like, that's not why we told Rick where we were. We wanted to kind of work with Rick, an alliance with him. I didn't tell him that because of the sausage tag.
Yeah, that had nothing...
That had nothing to do with
unrelated events.
And I don't apologize for taking the sausage tag. Sorry. Well, that is an apology. Sorry, not sorry
I don't
to
apologize.
Biggie,
Sorry.
because I did win. We did win because of the sausage tag, and not sorry at all to Rick for taking your sausage tag. You shouldn't have dropped it.
Yeah, what are you doing?
How about
There's
next
$250,000
time-
in line. What are you
How
doing?
about next time you don't drop the sausage?
Yeah.
And then there would be no
Butterfingers?
sausage, whatever, gate, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Do you think that there's anybody on the bus who would have been like, "Excuse me," and let's say the person's name at the same time? If there
Okay,
if
if there was one person.
if there was one person.
1, 2, 3,
Jonah.
Yeah. If
Absolute
Jonah
sweetheart.
picked up the sausage tag, he would have given it back to whoever dropped it.
He would have felt too bad.
For sure. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was the only answer.
No,
that
it
was
really
the only
was.
person that would have.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Okay.
This doesn't have to do with sausages. I'm kind of over that. But
Okay.
do you really think you're better than everyone? Your whole intro. Your whole intro is talking about how you want to prove that you're better than everyone. Mm-hmm. Like, did you think you were better than everyone on the bus? And do you think you're better than everyone in life? In your day-to-day life? Do you just walk around looking at people like, damn, I'm better than these people?
I think it depends on like where I am and what I'm doing.
Okay, so on the bus.
On the bus.
Episode 1. Actually, no. In general, do you think you're better than everyone else on the bus?
Better in what category?
I don't know. You're the one who said that you were better.
No, I said I wanted like the validation publicly that I am better.
Okay, so do you think you're better? All right, next question. We're skipping this one. She's about to get canceled. Do you want to say anything on it, or do you just want to smile like that?
I'll just smile like that.
So she does think that she's better
I don't think
than everyone.
but it like.
Do you think you're better than me?
In what category? Do I think I'm better at European geography than you? Yeah. Do I think I played
anybody is well? Actually, I actually studied some European geography.
Yeah, she knew the flags.
You've been all around Europe.
Yeah.
Me, I had been to Rome, Santorini, and 24 hours in Paris.
So.
But had you quizzed me and put me on a bus in Asia,
sure. And I would do bad in Asia. But what I was saying, like, European geography, yes, I do think I'm better than you. Social game, I absolutely not better than you.
That's true.
So, like, it depends on the category. But the things I care about, just, like, the smart part of it, the knowing things part of it.
I'm a social little lady.
You are a social
little lady. You better watch out, because that ended up being more important than a lot of things.
Yep.
Was the social game.
Wait, I want to go back to the tarmac, if that's cool with you. Well, I just want to say, did you at any point consider not bringing me in on the clue?
No.
Okay.
I'm loyal.
Okay.
If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. That's something about me, actually, now that you bring it up, that I regret about the game, is that I was too loyal to the people that I promised my loyalty to.
And stay tuned to see how that unfolds.
And yeah, stay tuned to see how my loyalty unfolds or whatever, but it's gonna get me into some trouble.
I also had another tarmac related feelings. Oh.
What?
Do you want to talk about, I don't know if this is too behind the scenesy, but the outfit decisions, or like why you were wearing certain things, or do you not care about that?
Basically I was supposed to be in a different outfit. And then on the plane, I had a new outfit.
That wasn't something she brought.
That wasn't something that I brought. And that's all I'll say about it, because I don't want to be sued.
Sure, sure.
Let's talk about Josh again.
Interesting.
Were you
Interesting.
Whatever. Let's talk about Josh again. Sure. I am surprised that he was the first one that left. And I say this because Josh and I really thought that we were in Pompeii. And once I started to think it was Rome, I told Josh, like, yo, put your X between Pompeii and Rome. And then he was like, no. Like, I think they think it's Milan. So I was like, okay, put your X between Milan and Rome. And then he didn't do it, which sucks, because I feel like he would have been a strong Alliance member and he would have been a strong player, especially considering his history with the challenge and Big Brother and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But were you surprised that he was the first one that left?
A little bit yes and a little bit no. I didn't. Okay. I thought he was going to be a really strong social player, just kind of from the beginning, because I felt like he was making connections with people really well.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a lot out of him in terms of knowing things. You know what I mean?
No, because when there's a clip in the show when we're talking about Josh, and was it you that said that you thought he was playing dumb, or that he was dumb? And I said, no, he's not playing dumb.
Mm-hmm. And then I speak over you, and you don't get to explain yourself.
And then you speak over me, and I don't get to explain myself.
He's not playing dumb.
Actually, I just think he's really an idiot. Would you like to?
I would. I would like to explain that. I was saying I don't think he's playing dumb. I think he's being strategic. I think that he was just trying to kind of play both. Oh, I might know a little bit. Like, yeah, I won Big Brother, but maybe I don't know all this stuff about Europe. I think that he was trying to not show all his cards. Sure. I don't think that he was dumb, and I don't think that he was trying to play a dumb character. I think it was more so he didn't want to reveal much about himself.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think he was playing dumb. I think he was playing like a little, I wouldn't say reserved, but he wasn't trying to show all his cards.
Sure.
Because I think he has been around.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's been around Europe a little bit. Well, you know what else I wanted to talk about is Jonah calling Rick dad, because I don't even think, I thought he said Dan. And
I thought he just stuttered and was like, duh. You know, like,
I don't know, but nobody on the bus called Rick dad, and I think that I would have never said that, and I don't think Jonah would have said that, and I don't think Rick is a dad.
Let's get into this.
Rick, where are your children? Do you have children?
We've never seen a picture of his kids.
Well, he had pictures of his kids on the bus.
He had pictures of kids on the bus.
Of some adult people that could be anybody's adult children.
Yeah.
And he would talk to me about his kids. Do you even have children, Rick?
I've never seen a picture of him.
I've never seen an article about you having children, because I think if I were working at NBC or Screen Rant or Movie Delic, I would write Rick Zabo, dad. Rick Zabo has 4 children at home. Rick Zabo, father figure. But instead, I don't see that anywhere. And this mother effer said that he hasn't really traveled and he's always wanted to bring his wife to these beautiful... Sir, you lived in South Africa. You've been to 6 continents. Not as many as me, but you've been to 6 freaking continents, Rick.
I'm excited for the season to progress so we can say more and more things.
Yeah,
about
I would
Rick.
love to say more.
I can't wait to talk about
Rick, I've got a lot to say about you,
Rick.
buddy. Good.
Sick
and
Rick.
horrible. But
Yeah.
you know what? I feel like we've all got good and bad things to say about each other because it was a game. It's a game. It's literally a game. So outside of the show, maybe Rick is a great, loving father figure. But if you are, I want to see those kids. Send me some birth certificates.
Yeah.
Did you adopt?
We don't know.
These are questions that I think the world need answered.
Yeah, because we heard a lot. I mean, we heard a lot about his like living and family situation. A lot of which was not true.
He says it in the beginning. He's like, you know, I'm coming here to play this dad character, and then I'm actually mischievous and deceitful. Like, okay, so do you have kids?
Do you have children?
I don't even think he does. I'm gonna place $10 on Rick doesn't have kids.
That's good. That's good. I bet Biggie will match it.